She played the perfect wife while secretly investigating dangerous criminals. I had no idea my life and our marriage was part of her undercover operation. This is the story of betrayal, justice, and redemption. Teresa, she's not who she says she is. His voice shook. I did some research. There's no record of a husband dying in a construction accident. No obituary, no accident report, nothing. I checked with my insurance company. They keep records of all major incidents. Teresa Edwards doesn't have a dead husband. The pieces were shifting, forming a picture I didn't want to see. Then who is she? I asked. Michael was quiet for a moment. I don't know, but Josh, your wife does. I saw them having lunch last week. Very friendly, very familiar. They're working together on something, and I think we're both being played. I hung up and watched the live feed from my hidden camera. Empty living room, empty house. My wife was out there somewhere doing something I couldn't understand with people I couldn't trust. And I was sitting in the dark, wondering how I'd gotten here, wondering when my normal life had turned into this nightmare, wondering if I'd ever really known the woman I married at all. The Sunset Motel on Highway 9 was the kind of place you'd never visit voluntarily. Peeling paint, flickering neon, the whole depressing setup. I watched Sandra's BMW pull into the parking lot at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday. She'd called in sick to work, or at least that's what she'd told me. She went to room 218, knocked 3 times in some kind of pattern, and disappeared inside. I gave her 10 minutes, then crept closer. Through the thin curtains, I could see 2 figures. Sandra and a middle-aged woman were sitting on the bed. The woman was crying, Sandra was taking notes, and every few minutes, Sandra would show her phone, and the woman would nod vigorously. After 40 minutes, they hugged, long and emotional, and Sandra left. The woman stayed behind, sitting on the bed, staring at nothing. I approached her door and knocked softly. She opened it with red eyes and a suspicious look. "Who are you?" she asked. "Josh Roberts. I'm Sandra's." But she slammed the door before I could finish. Through the woods, I heard her crying harder. Michael met me at the diner with his theory. "Your wife is playing both sides," he said, spreading documents across the table. "Look at this. She sets up the violation through me. I get my cut, but then she also counsels the victims, tells them to fight it, hires lawyers, drags it out while Teresa pressures them to sell. It's brilliant, really. She makes money from the scam and from helping people resist it." He showed me bank statements. His payments from that same source paying Sandra DMK legal services. Except Michael's statements showed withdrawals, not deposits. He was paying them too. It's a shell company, Michael insisted. They're washing money through it. Your wife, Teresa, and maybe others. This goes deeper than just HOA violations, Josh. This is organized. I wanted to argue to defend Sandra, but I couldn't. The evidence was overwhelming. My wife was either a criminal mastermind or the world's most elaborate liar. Maybe both. That night, I found more business cards in Sandra's car. Not just one identity. She had 6 different names, 6 different companies, all with her photo. Sarah Rollins, insurance investigator. Sandra, legal consultant. S.R. Thompson, property assessor. Each card was worn, used, and legitimate looking. Who was this woman? I confronted her when she got home. "Who are you?" I demanded, throwing the cards on the table. She went pale, then red, then something else entirely. "You're supposed to trust me," she said coldly. 12 years of marriage and you break into my car. You're running some kind of scam." She laughed. Actually, I laughed. "A scam? You think I'm—" She stopped herself, grabbed her keys. "I can't do this right now. I need space from this." Teresa showed up at my door an hour later. I almost told her everything, almost spilled about Sandra's double life, the motel meetings, the multiple identities. But something in Teresa's eyes stopped me. Too eager, too pleased. "We're fine," I said shortly. She lingered, clearly fishing for details, then produced her phone. "Josh, I hate to show you this, but as a friend," the screenshots look damning. Text messages between Sandra and Teresa discussing filing fraudulent violations, splitting profits, and identifying target homes. I felt my knees buckle. Teresa caught my arm. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. I tried to resist, but she threatened to report my husband's accident as fraud. She's been blackmailing me for months. I didn't know what else to do. Sandra checked into the Marriott downtown. Separation, she called it, until you decide to trust me again. I opened my laptop to email my lawyer about divorce options when a notification popped up. Someone had sent me a file, anonymous sender, encrypted attachment. Inside was a USB drive worth of data. Files labeled Edward's real estate fraud investigation, video testimonies from 6 different families, property transfer records, a timeline going back 18 months, and photos of Teresa, not grieving widow Teresa, but smiling Teresa at house closings, celebrating, shaking hands with realtors, wealthy Teresa buying a 3rd rental property. The last file was a voice recording. "This is victim 4. Sandra Roberts helped me understand what happened. Teresa Edwards forced us out using fake violations. The contractor, Michael Carter, was in on it. They made $70,000 off our house." Another voice, "Victim 2. We lost everything. Our dream home. Sandra said she's building a case, gathering evidence for a lawsuit. She's the only one who believed us." I grabbed my phone to call her when Michael texted, "Emergency. Sandra just broke into my work van, threatened me. Meet at my office now. I have security footage. Come alone." I drove anyway. Michael's office was above his garage in a converted workspace. He was waiting at the door. "Thank God you came," he said, ushering me inside. The footage was shocking. Sandra's completely lost it. But something felt wrong. The office was too neat, too staged, and Michael kept checking his phone, nervous energy radiating off him. "Show me," I demanded. He pulled up grainy, shaky footage of someone in Sandra's jacket near his van. Definitely staged, definitely fake. "Michael," I said slowly, "this isn't real." His face changed. "You're smarter than I thought," he admitted, reaching into his desk drawer. When his hand came out, it held a gun. "Sorry, Josh. This was supposed to be clean. Quick sale. Everyone moves on. But you had to go digging." My blood ran cold. "Teresa's plan?" I asked. He smiled. "Our plan. We've been partners for 3 years. 6 houses, 400,000 profit each. You were supposed to be number 7. The doorbell rang. Heavy boots, multiple people. "Don't move," he hissed, hand shaking. "Knock. Knock. Police." Sandra's voice. Authoritative, commanding. "Police. We have a warrant for Joshua Roberts." Through the peephole, I saw 2 officers. Too shiny, too new. Fake cops. Sandra appeared behind them. Bathrobe over street clothes, no badge, no authority. "Gentlemen," she said quietly, "you're committing felony fraud. Step aside." The next 3 seconds were chaos. Tony hit the porch. Rick ran. Michael lunged for the desk, but Sandra was faster. "Recording everything," she announced, "including you pulling a gun on my husband." Car doors slammed. Real police arrived. David Walker introduced himself. Attorney representing 6 families defrauded by Teresa Edwards and Michael Carter. Sandra was his licensed PI, expert in real estate fraud. Sandra explained the hidden cameras, surveillance, late-night motel meetings, the crying woman, the multiple business cards, the DMK legal payments, all part of professional investigation work. She'd orchestrated the entire bait to catch Teresa and Michael while protecting witnesses. I confronted her about lying, doubting her, installing cameras. She explained, it was necessary for evidence. The video I had seen, recorded an hour before Michael's emergency text. She knew. She had come to save me. The deck, the Yelp review, the timing, all manipulated to ensure Teresa would trigger the investigation. My life, our anniversary, even our marriage had been tactical tools in a criminal investigation. Months of therapy with Dr. Patricia Morrison, role-playing, emotional exercises, rebuilding trust after betrayal, learning to communicate, acknowledging mistakes, neighborhood healed, HOA reforms implemented, community garden renamed the Roberts Memorial Garden, families reunited, lives rebuilt. Sandra and I rebuilt our marriage gradually. We celebrated anniversaries anew. Civil trial ended in our favor. Sandra trained new investigators ethically. The victims flourished. Old wounds remained, but we learned to navigate them together. Neighborhood remained ours. Community strengthened. Forgiveness without forgetting. Choosing each other despite pain. Building something new. 1 year later, we hosted a barbecue. Families came, neighbors celebrated. Sandra's work inspired the next generation. Michael started a nonprofit for HOA abuse victims. Teresa remained in prison. Sandra's consulting thrived. On our deck, surrounded by people we saved and who saved us, I understood justice, marriage, and community were all worth protecting. Asterisk, happy anniversary, Sandra whispered. Happy anniversary, I replied. The deck stood strong beneath us. We held strong. That was enough. More than enough. It was everything.